The first job, the teen learns work at a busy cafe. It was the first day of summer, and Mia was both nervous and excited. She had just turned 16, and she wanted to earn her own money. Her parents said it was a good idea to learn some responsibility, so she applied for a part-time job at a small cafe in town called Sunny Cap Cafe. When she got the call saying, "You're hired," she almost shouted with joy. But now, standing in front of the cafe door with her heart beating fast, she felt a little afraid. The bell above the door rang as she stepped inside. The smell of coffee and fresh bread filled the air. Soft music played in the background, and people sat at small tables talking quietly. Behind the counter stood a tall man with kind eyes. "You must be Mia," he said with a warm smile. "I'm Sam, the manager. Welcome to Sunny Cap Cafe." Mia smiled back and said softly, "Thank you. I'm happy to be here." Sam showed her around the cafe. He introduced her to the other workers, Emma, who made the coffee, and Luis, who served the customers. "You'll start by helping at the counter," Sam explained. "It's simple, but it takes focus. You'll take orders, smile, and be kind to everyone." Mia nodded, trying to remember everything. She felt a little scared, but she wanted to do her best. Her first customer was a young woman holding a baby. "Good morning," Mia said, her voice shaking slightly. "What would you like today?" The woman smiled. "One latte and a muffin, please." Mia entered the order into the screen and gave the change carefully. She almost dropped a coin, but she caught it just in time. The woman laughed kindly. "First day?" she asked. Mia blushed and nodded. "You're doing fine," the woman said. That small comment made Mia feel a little stronger. As the hours passed, the cafe grew busier. People came in for coffee, sandwiches, and cold drinks. The line was long, and Mia had to work fast. Sometimes she forgot small things, like giving a receipt or saying thank you, but she tried to correct herself each time. Sam watched her from behind the counter. When the rush was over, he came to her and said, "You did well, Mia. Everyone makes mistakes at first. What matters is that you keep learning." Mia smiled with relief. Her feet were sore, and her hands were a little sticky from cleaning tables, but she felt proud. She was learning something new every minute: how to stay calm, how to talk to people, and how to work as a team. During her lunch break, Emma sat with her and shared a sandwich. "You're doing great," Emma said. "It's always hard the first week, but soon you'll feel like you belong here." Mia thanked her and took a deep breath. She already felt more confident. The next few days were still busy, but Mia became faster and more comfortable. She learned to make simple drinks like hot chocolate and iced tea. She learned how to smile even when she was tired and how to listen carefully when customers spoke quickly. One afternoon, a man spilled his coffee and looked angry. Mia rushed to help him, gave him napkins, and said gently, "I'm so sorry, sir. Let me get you a new cup." The man's face softened. "Thank you," he said. "That's very kind of you." Mia realized then that kindness could solve many small problems. Weeks passed, and summer moved quickly. Mia began to love her job. She liked hearing the sound of the coffee machine, the smell of baked bread, and the laughter of people enjoying their food. She also liked talking with regular customers who remembered her name. One old woman came every morning and said, "Good morning. Mia, you make the best toast." That made Mia's heart warm. Sometimes, when the day was long and her legs felt heavy, she thought about quitting. But then she remembered how proud her parents were when she came home wearing her cafe uniform. Her mother always asked, "How was work today?" And her father smiled and said, "You're growing up fast." Those words gave her energy to keep going. By the end of summer, Mia was no longer the shy girl who stood nervously by the cafe door. She had learned how to work hard, how to speak politely, and how to stay patient even when things went wrong. On her last day before school started again, Sam called her into the back room. "Mia," he said, "you've done a great job this summer. You're always welcome here. If you want to work again next year, we'll be happy to have you." Mia smiled brightly. "Thank you, Sam. I've learned so much here." She looked around the cafe one more time. The tables were clean, the smell of coffee filled the air, and the afternoon sun shone through the window. She felt proud, tired, and happy all at once. When she walked home that evening, the sky was turning orange and pink. She thought about her first day and how scared she had been. Now she felt different, stronger, and more confident. She had learned that work was not just about earning money. It was also about learning to care, to listen, and to do your best. Even when it's hard, Mia smiled as she reached her house. Her first job had taught her more than she ever expected. It had shown her that with effort, patience, and kindness, she could do anything she dreamed of. And as she opened the door and smelled her mother's cooking, she whispered softly to herself, "I did it." Mia returned to Sunny Cup Cafe after school with new thoughts and new plans. The first weeks had gone by, and now autumn was near. She still worked after school and on weekends. Some days she felt tired and wanted to rest, but she also felt happy because she knew small steps were moving her forward. She learned to balance her schoolwork and her job. She did homework in the quiet hour before the cafe closed, and she read a book during the slow afternoon time. Her teacher noticed she was more confident in class. Mia sometimes told small stories about her day at the cafe, and her classmates liked to hear them. One Monday, Sam gave her a new task. "Mia," he said, "I need you to help train a new person." "Can you do that?" Mia felt proud and nervous at the same time. She remembered her own first day. She agreed and said, "Yes, I will help." The new person was a boy named Tariq. He was 17 and shy like Mia had been. He wore a new apron and looked around with wide eyes. Mia showed him how to clean the tables and how to press the buttons on the register. She spoke slowly and used simple words. Tariq listened carefully and tried many things. He made a few mistakes, but Mia smiled and said, "It is okay. We all learn." Training Tariq helped Mia learn even more. She found that she could explain things clearly. That made her feel strong. She also learned patience. Sometimes Tariq asked the same question twice. Mia took a deep breath and said the answer again. She was patient because she remembered how kind the woman with the baby had been on her first day. Later, Tariq thanked her. "You are a good teacher," he said. Mia blushed. She did not feel like a teacher, but she liked the sound of the words. One busy Saturday, the cafe was full. People sat at every table. The line at the counter reached the door. A group of students laughed loudly near the window. A woman worked on her laptop, and a man read the newspaper. The air smelled of cinnamon and warm milk. Suddenly, the coffee machine stopped making noise. It was a deep, quiet silence that everyone felt. Emma tried to press the buttons, but nothing happened. Sam looked worried. "The machine lost power," he said. "We need to fix this fast." Mia felt her heart beat quickly. They had many orders for lattes and cappuccinos. Sam called the repair person, but he said it would take time. Mia looked at the long line and then at Tariq, who looked scared. "We can do some things by hand," Mia said. "We can make cold drinks and serve hot chocolate. We can use the small pot to heat milk." Emma nodded and Louise began to steam milk on a small stove. Mia and Tariq made simple drinks like tea, and they poured coffee from a thermos Sam kept in the back. It was not the same as a fresh latte, but the customers were patient. Some people smiled and said, "It is okay." "We are happy you tried. The kindness of the customers made Mia feel warm. The day was long and hard." Mia wiped many tables and cleaned many cups. She felt tired in her feet and shoulders. Yet at the end of the day, she felt proud because the team had worked together. Sam stood by the door and said, "You all did great today." She learned that problems can show who you really are. Weeks later, Mia faced a different challenge. She had an important test at school the same week that the cafe had many new events. The town held a fair, and many people came to the cafe. Mia wanted to study for the test, but she also wanted to help at the cafe. She felt torn between two duties. Her mother said, "You can do both if you plan well." Mia made a plan. She studied in the morning before work and again after closing the cafe. She asked Sam if he could give her one afternoon off to rest and study. Sam said, "Yes, take the time you need." School is important. His words made her breathe easier. The test day came. Mia felt nervous in class, but she remembered her plan. She had studied hard. This gave her a new lesson. She learned that planning and asking for help can make hard things easier. She also learned to put things in the right order and to speak up when she needs help. As the months passed, Mia built more friendships at the cafe. She talked with the regulars about small things. An old man named Mr. Green told her stories about the town. He said he had once been young and shy, but then he traveled and saw many places. "Trust small steps," he told her. They make a long road. Mia listened and thought about her summer, her first days, and the many small steps she had taken. She began to dream of new things. She wanted to save money for a small trip with her mother next year. She wanted to buy a book she had wanted for a long time. Her savings jar was getting heavier, and that made her smile. One rainy night, a young woman came in crying. She had lost her purse and did not have money for a bus home. She sat at a table and wiped her face with a napkin. Mia felt sorry for her. She sat beside her and said, "Do you want to call someone?" "I can help." The woman shook her head and said she was far from home. Mia thought for a moment and then asked Sam if the cafe could help. Sam said, "We can give her a warm meal and a cup of tea." They served her bread and soup and let her sit in a warm corner until she felt calmer. The woman thanked them with tears in her eyes. "You all are very kind," she said. Mia felt touched. She realized that a small kindness can change a hard night into a safe one. One evening, when the air was cool and the moon was bright, Mia sat alone in the cafe after closing. She looked at the empty chairs and the clean counter. She touched her apron and remembered the first day she felt afraid. Now she felt different. Her hands remembered many tasks. Her voice spoke with less shaking when she took orders. She had learned to be strong and gentle at the same time. She thought about the future and what she might do next. She did not know the answers, but she was not afraid. Towards the end of the school year, Sam asked Mia to help plan a small event for the cafe. "Let us have a poetry night," he said. "We can invite people to read short poems. It will be a quiet, kind evening." Mia liked the idea. She helped make posters and told regulars about the night. On the evening of the event, the cafe filled with people who read and listened quietly. A boy read a poem he wrote about his grandmother. An older woman read a poem about a garden. Mia read a short poem she had written about the cafe. Her voice was soft but clear. People clapped gently and smiled. That night felt like a gentle celebration of everything the cafe had become for her and for the town. At the end of the year, the town planned a small ceremony for young people who had worked in local places. Mia's name was on a small list for young workers who helped the community. Her parents came to the ceremony and they were proud. Her mother hugged her and said, "You have grown so much." Her father said, "We saw you learn with your heart." Mia felt warm and looked at the faces around her. She thought of Sam, Emma, Luis, Tariq, and the many people who had been kind. When Mia walked home that night, she carried a small certificate and a quiet pride in her steps. The moon was thin and the air smelled like wet leaves. She thought of the first day she stood at the cafe door, afraid and excited. Now she felt like the town was a little home for her. She knew work was sometimes hard and life had surprises, but she also knew she had friends and a place to learn more. She learned to listen, to care, and to lead when needed. She learned that small acts of kindness matter and that she could help make someone's day better. Mia decided she would keep working at Sunny Cup Cafe next summer and maybe during holidays. She also decided to save more and try a small trip with her mother in the future. She was not sure what the future held, but she was ready. Her first job had taught her more than money and time. It had taught her about people, about calm in a busy place, and about finding strength in small moments. As she opened her home door and smelled the cooking of the evening, she whispered, "Thank you, not only for the day but for the whole journey." She knew the road ahead was long, and she was ready to take the next small step.